People in Gaza are being forced to use seawater to clean themselves, wash their clothes and clean the dishes. This is a result of Israel's siege, which restricted the supply of water, food, fuel and medicine into the Palestinian enclave in response to Hamas's deadly attacks on October 7. The World Health Organization said that more than 2 million Gazans have to get by on just 3 liters of water per day for drinking, cooking and washing. That's just 1/5 of the absolute minimum of 15 liters needed for basic survival, according to the WHO. Gaza's water crisis began well before the current conflict between Israel and Hamas. Most of Gaza's fresh water comes from a shallow aquifer, which was contaminated with sewage and seawater even before the war. The UN has said that as much as 96% of it is not fit for human consumption. So Gazans had to rely on unregulated private water tankers and desalination plants for drinking water. There are 3 major desalination plants, while some of the water is purchased from Israel. Years of conflicts worsened the already inadequate water infrastructure. In 2007, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade on Gaza after Hamas took over power in the Strip. That severely restricted the entry of materials to repair and maintain water systems. Then Israel ordered a total siege of Gaza after the Hamas attacks.
אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור.
In the aftermath of the assault, Israel also turned off water pipelines. In late October, Israeli officials said that water was flowing through 2 of the 3 pipelines. As fuel started to run out, 2 of the 3 desalination plants in Gaza had to shut down. The last desalination plant still in operation was only working at 5% capacity in late October. All wastewater plants in Gaza are shut down due to the lack of power, resulting in raw sewage flooding the streets. Since mid-October, more than 30,000 cases of diarrhea have been reported, according to the WHO. Over half of those are among children under 5 years old. The UN's Children's Agency warned that in conflict areas, children under 5 are 20 times more likely to die of diseases linked to diarrhea than to violence.
بصير راسي يوجعني بطني يوجعني كثير بيجيني امراض من هذه الاشياء وماما عيت وكل اخواتي عيوا من المي الملوثه.
Long queues of people waiting to fill jerry cans are now commonplace across the territory as water becomes increasingly scarce. The amount of water on which Gazans rely on now is a fraction of the WHO recommended range of 50 to 100 liters a day. And it's negligible compared to what people in Israel consume on average every day, according to a UN report.
الختيارية في العمر والكبار في السن بده يضطر يشرب مية مالح شو بده يعمل لو ما لقاش مية.
The Israeli military said Gaza has sufficient water supplies, as well as access to solar power and diesel. It accused Hamas of limiting civilians' access to those vital resources. Hamas denies this. What Gaza really needs, according to humanitarian organizations, is fuel to restore power. Since the conflicts began on October 7, Israel allowed only half a tanker of fuel to enter the besieged enclave via the Rafah border crossing with Egypt.
Fuel here in Gaza is absolutely everything, because without fuel you do not have generator, you do not have functioning bakery, you do not have a functioning hospital, and you cannot pump water.
In mid-November, the UN said 200,000 Gazans lost access to clean water after its 2 water distribution contractors stopped working due to the lack of fuel. Some aid trucks have entered Gaza in recent weeks, but the UN says they are not bringing in nearly enough fresh water.